Hello, good morning, good evening. We don't want to waste more time. Thank you, Pastor Dekunle, for joining. Thank you, everyone. Good morning, like I say, good afternoon, good evening. We're about to start. So if you know you have any of your friends that registered that is not here, please tell them that we have just started. We are not going to be wasting much time because we value your time here with us. Like I said, if today or this is your first ever men's meeting, please type yes on the chat. We want to use the chat box. Or if this is your second time of attending the Method Men, you can also let us know and type yes. So what do we have lined up for today? Today we have so much lined up, and I want to encourage you that you try to stay till the end because we have some bonuses, and we also have the link of our presenters, our seasons coach to be here. So encourage you to stay to the end. Thank you once again, and thank you for joining. You can actually grab your pen and your paper so that we can start immediately. We are starting right away. So my name is NG Wankwo. As you know, I'll be the host and facilitator for today's event. And we have some other speakers. Main guest speaker is already here, Mr. Odeyemi, who is inspired to lead CEO and also a leadership development consultant. We also have Ambassador Dr. Eno Praise, who is also trying to join. Okay. And today we would like to navigate through the dynamic terrain of the modern masculinity with empathy and wisdom for us. Okay, that's what we're going to be doing. And by implementing various strategy and tips from various of our speakers. If you have any question, I encourage you to use the chat box so that at the end of the day, we will get those questions. We can respond to it without wasting time. And we also have the links and details of our guest speakers on it. So during this, so please use the chat box. Want to see it bossing. Thank you so much. Thank you once again. I'm just starting. We are just starting, so we're not wasting time. So we go to say the first speaker that we're going to have today. So congratulations, everyone. Have your way. Just keep moving.
Angie Nwankwo, a trained engineer with a mini MBA, has over 20 years of experience, currently holds the position of External Lead Interface and SIMOPS, Superintendent at one of the largest oil and gas companies in the Middle East. In his current position, he oversees and coordinates interface approvals for project execution to improve schedule adherence and productivity. He also manages simultaneous operations on site, utilizing his exceptional communication skills. He has been offered twice with the Superstar Award in 2016 and 2019 for his exceptional performance within his company and was recognized as the overall best employee in 2020. In 2023, he received a meritorious certificate of appreciation from Qatar Energy LNG for his strong leadership and effective communication. Angie Nwankwo is also an independent certified speaker, trainer, and coach with the Maxwell Leadership Team. He is a DISC consultant and specializes in the Maxwell DISC behavioral analysis method and serves as a youth facilitator program. Also, a key member of the Maxwell leadership team across Georgia, Africa, and Qatar. Angie is a respected member of the Empowered Living Communities, a community of over 26,000 entrepreneur leaders and coaches, where he serves as an online ambassador and hosts a weekly Facebook live show. In 2020, he was honored as the first person in the Middle East to light the Empowered Living candle globally on May 19. Angie Nwankwo holds license as a diversity, equity, and inclusion trainer and excels as a facilitator, keynote speaker, certified virtual presenter, and mindset coach. He has dedicated his life to volunteering leadership roles with organizations such as FIFA, CAF, Qatar, Triathlon, and numerous others. As a servant leader of Learn to Lead Consult, a rapidly growing consulting firm specializing in personal development, private coaching, team building, and youth leadership programs, he contributes accurately to the field. Angie Nwankwo resides in Qatar with his wife and their 3 lovely children. Please make welcome Angie Nwankwo. Angie Nwankwo, a trained engineer.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Thank you for that introduction. So we go. We have a powerful message. What is mentality? As you can see, mentality is a powerful concept for each and every one of us. And we are here to empower and embrace our journey as men. Men, we say M for men. I'm grateful as a person of faith. I like to say, thank God we are all men here. So that is the first M. And E, empowerment to live our best life, and we say networking. They say the best deals are done in the golf course. And we become awareness. You're becoming aware of your leadership role, and you go from that awareness to your leadership role. And that's why my mentor, John C. Maxwell, says, everything rises and falls on leadership. Innovation. What do you bring to the table as a man? What do you bring to the table? What are you bringing to the table, and what is it? Then we have T, teamwork. They say team makes the dream work. Do you have the team? In your family, are they a team? In your job, are you a team? In your company, do you have the team? These are some of the topics that we are going to be reviewing this evening. And I just want you to grab your pen and your papers and yield to your potential. That is why, yielding to your potential. So generally, in today's event, where the society expectation of men often overshadow the reality that men faces. This webinar, I want to tell you that is going to serve as a guide to break free from this overrated or outdated norms and culture. So a mentality that is rooted in self-discovery, discipline as a man, and compassion. Now, whether you're navigating your career, you're navigating your marriage, or even starting a business or planning retirement, or simple, just a quest for self-discovery or understanding your world, this is what we're going to be talking about. So mentality is going to redefine your masculinity on your own term, not in my term as the speaker, nor in the other term as also the speaker. So this is what we are looking at. Okay, we keep moving. So mindset over reality. Okay, mind over matters, and that is what we are being moving about. Okay, so an event like this, what does it do for us? Mentality. So mentality covers a broad range of topic that we're having. This is a broad range of topic that we're having. So whether it's emotional intelligence, emotional well-being, personal development, is going to be impactful, I'm telling you. So we have splitted this into 3 or 2, myself, I'm just talking about mindset here, mentality, mind over matters, the mentality of a man, and Odemi is going to be speaking on leadership, the mentality of leadership. So as we go, we've already done several events of Method Men. This is our 3rd edition. So I will encourage you to go to YouTube at Learn to Lead Consult. Is there. You can listen to last year edition, was so powerful. We have Professor Jeff Wills there. We also have PBA, I call it BC Akonde, the Inspirer, for last year event. And this year, I'm fortunate enough to have one person that I admire so much, Mr. Odemi, who is the CEO of Lead Consult, okay? Inspired to Lead, okay? He's the CEO of Inspired to Lead. So let's just keep hearing. So you can go over to YouTube and watch that event. It's so powerful. So insight. Here are some of the insights we're going to be talking about this evening in just a short time that we have. Number 1, breaking the silence. Many men face society pressure to conform to the traditional norms or traditional masculinity, like I can always say, which often discourage their emotional expression or seeking help for mental issue. I'm glad that mental issue has become the thing that is currently happening. Before they say men don't talk, but when I was growing up, they say be man enough, and that creates that mentality, that mindset that people bottle up some issues in their mind. But this event, or this what we're going to have in this evening, is going to open your mind to inspire yourself to grow. So this is a space of what? A safe place for men to discuss. That's why I say you can ask any question, because we have seasoned leaders and entrepreneurs that can answer your question, whether you're struggling, So be vulnerable. I always tell leaders or people that are growing, be vulnerable to the event that you're. This is why we have this seasons coach here. So that's number one, breaking from the silence. So number two, we're going to be talking about mind over matters. What is mind over matters? Emotional intelligence. Developing your emotional intelligence is so crucial for your personal and professional success. Skills like self-awareness that we talked about, self-recognition, empathy, effective communication. Warren Buffett said, if you cannot communicate properly, it's like winking a girl in the dark and expecting the person to see you. So I encourage you, to stay to the end, whether also that is that. So mind over matters, empowering men to navigate relationship, conflict, and career challenges effectively. So before we continue, what is this mentality that we're talking about? What is mentality? What is mindset? So we go back to the basics. I like to share a story here. As men evolve, he become what? More vicious. As we evolve, what is mentality, or what does it mean to people? Mentality is what? It's simply the way people think, just the way someone thinks. It can be as an individual or as a group of people. The mentality looks inward. That is so much. Mentality looks inward, but attitude is outside. It looks outside. Is the mode or way of our thoughts. John Maxwell, who is my mentor and our leader, said, you must manage your thoughts life daily, and then you can manage your life. Until you manage every day of your thoughts, you cannot manage your life. So you don't overcome those thoughts, overcome those challenges by making them smaller, but you make yourself bigger. So that is it, make yourself bigger in every day of it. So which takes us to what does it really mean, this mentality? The characteristics of mental attitude that determine how you will interpret or respond to situation. Personal development topics such as goal setting, time management, leadership, resilience could equip every one of us here to have a practical tools and strategy with our life. So I ask you again, do you have a personal development? Do you have a coach? I always tell men, they said experience is the best teacher, but how is it the best teacher? Is analyze experience that is the best teacher. And when you have people that have gone ahead of you that can show you the way, it makes the job easier, it makes the journey easier and lighter. So I encourage you, I tell men that mentorship is no weakness. That you have a mentor, you say be man enough, like I said, they tell us be man enough. So, but you have a mentor, or you have a coach, or you have a leader that shows you, to show you and grab you by the hand and go. That's also encourage you, if you want to join the John Maxwell team, is so important, because that group of people, that environment has really helped me. Has really helped me. So, okay. So entrepreneurship, I still hope that Ambassador Dr. Eno will join us soon. He will be talking about that. And so every of the participants, sometimes I just say it, every of the participants, we can gain what? Valuable insight, inspiration, and networking opportunity to kickstart our business, to kickstart our entrepreneurial journey. Overall, I tell you, my brothers, I call it my brothers and my friend. Overall, mentality for man has to do with the potential to empower men to prioritize their mental health, cultivate emotional well-being, pursue their personal growth, pursue entrepreneurial endeavor in a supportive and inclusive environment. That is why we are here. And that is why I tell you to go to YouTube, try to watch that word, the method behind the first one, the man, his purpose, his vision. That is a continuation of what we're talking about today. So you can go over to YouTube and see that in Learn to Lead channel. So just the story I said I wanted to share over a little while, the story of the elephant and the rope. A man comes across an elephant that is tied to a small rope, just like you can see on the picture screen. We're talking about mentality. Despite the fact that the elephant, you see, this big giant elephant can easily break free from the rope. It does not even try. The man was so curious and he asked the trainer why. You know, he asked the nearby trainer why this elephant doesn't attempt to break this chain or this rope that is holding him. The trainer explained that when the elephant was small, was a young one, it was tied to this rope. And then he tried to move and he couldn't move. So since then, he couldn't break from there. So since then, as a result of that, the elephant just thought, oh, I cannot. He conditioned and believed that it was he or the elephant is not capable to move. So as a result of that, the elephant conditioned his mind, conditioned to believe that it was incapable of breaking from the rope, even though it could do that easily. The elephant could do that easily, but he has conditioned his mind, like, just like the elephant, we can become so conditioned in our own limitation mindset that we may not even try to break from them, that we may not try to break from the limitation, that we will not try to grow. I tell people, I started growing when I turned 40. I was just living life day by day. I tried until I have a leadership crisis or a life crisis. And since then, I've grown and we are growing. And that is why we're here. So the lesson of the elephant of the road is to recognize the limitation that we all have. So in the journey of success, I tell you, my friend and my brother, again, one key factor is our mentality. So to get these things done is like what? A ship, let me say a yacht, is like just sailing a ship and you can have the finest vessel, but without setting out the course and pushing forward, you simply, or the ship simply draft. Okay? The ship simply draft. That is what we are talking about. So this lesson of the elephant and the rope, what does it tell us? So today, you have to push yourself. The art of pushing yourself, moving the ordinary, moving from the ordinary. Everybody starts at the same level, but after a while, if someone is growing, you will see that there will be changes. You know, one person that comes to mind, like I always tell people, is Cristiano Ronaldo, the sportsman Cristiano Ronaldo. We all talked about his mentality. He has faced challenges in the sports and in various areas of his life. But what same also we have come sometime in crossroad. So what do? Everybody, I tell you, we all come to a crossroads where our choices define us. In those moments where our choices define us, it's not about the decision that matters, but about making the right decision. This is where it gets interesting. Just listen. This is where it gets interesting now. The mindset. We remember mindset over matter. So every day we have the opportunity to start our day with a mindset. There are multiple mindsets, just like there are choices we make daily. It's up to you to decide. It's up to you. How you decide your day works. So successful people think differently. That doesn't mean that they are necessarily better or smarter than others, but how they view the situation and life. So how do you view the situation? If I ask you, how do you view the situation? So we must be emotionally stable to go for your dream. Otherwise, you will become a raw material in the hands of others. Okay? So you become a raw material in the hand of others or in another person's dream. So let's stop wasting time and make things happen for ourselves. That is one thing I want to tell you. So consider changes. It says changes follows focus on our attention. So changes follows, on our attention. So consider them. So consider these points. These 4 points are just pick here. So consider this point. Is our takeaway. Your thoughts. Number one, your thoughts drives your action. What do I mean by that? Your thought influence your action. Negative mindset results in negative action, while positive mindset motivates you to pursue your dream. 2, attitude follows thoughts. So fill your mind with positive attitude, and bad attitude becomes hard to maintain. 3, focus thinking matters. Focus on the thought can transform it from complex to deeply understood. Again, I'll go back. I refer to my mentor, to my leader, John Maxwell. He calls it thinking until you think true. You think until you think true. Okay? Positive changes demand attention. Number 4. Achieving positive changes require your full attention, dedication, and thoughtful strategy. So today, I challenge you to spend a few minutes with your pen, with your paper, jotting down your thoughts. Take about 5 to 10 minutes and reflect on your thoughts in building your mentality. Are you positive or negative? Hopeful or hopeless? Full of dream or worry? And I just want to thank you for joining. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we go to the next speaker.
Ambassador Dr. Eno.
So while Ambassador Dr. Enope is trying to connect, I don't know if he's here. So we'll go to Mr. Odeyemi, who is going to be our next speaker.
Odeyemi Olayiwole is a certified leadership development expert, management consultant, desk trainer, and an economist by training. He has also done several leadership development courses, including at the prestigious Harvard University. He is a fellow of the Institute of Management Consultants Nigeria and a member of the Society for Human Resource Management in USA. He has 23 years of experience building human capital in non-profit, faith, military, healthcare, media, private and public sectors. He speaks and trains regularly for organizations nationally and internationally. He serves as the CEO of the Inspired to Lead, a leadership training and consulting organization. He also serves as a leadership team member of the African Leadership Council, Washington, D.C., Impact 54 in Scotland, International Council of Friends, Chicago, USA, Citadel Global Ventures, USA, and the Global Leadership Summit. He is a member of the President's Advisory Council of Maxwell Leadership Certified Team, USA. He is a visiting resource person at the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies, Nigeria, and several other training institutes. He is one of the 2022 top 10 winners of the Maxwell Leadership Culture Awards in USA. He is passionate about helping people become the best versions of themselves as they commit to a life of personal development. He is married and blessed with 3 daughters. Please, let's welcome Mr. Odeyemi.
Can we give a round of applause for Mr. Odeyemi? Thank you so much, Mr. Demi. You can share your screen. I will stop sharing so that you can share.
Sure. Thank you very much, Angie. Can you hear me loud and clear? Yeah. Can you hear me, Angie?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, we can.
Okay,
Yes, we
fantastic.
can.
Okay, thank you so much. And it's raining cats and dogs where I am. So if you hear some background noise, it's because it's showers of blessings because it's Angie's birthday. So he didn't tell you that, but today is Angie's birthday. So I like us to go to the chat room and just type happy birthday. Use the emojis, confetti, flowers, hearts. But let's celebrate our host. I provided some virtual cake for those of you who love cake. All you need to do is go bring your virtual knife and virtual plate and get a piece of the cake that you can see. But I'm waiting to see the happy birthday in the chat. I mean, there are several of us here who are, thank you. I can see the love signs there. Yes, Angie, we celebrate you. We believe in you. We love you. We thank you for creating this platform where men can come and be encouraged, equipped, empowered to keep leading as men. So thank you so much. If you don't mind, you can blow out the candles and make a special prayer. The candles on the virtual cake there. Aha, great. Okay, so whatever that prayer is, we pray that God grants you your heart's desire. I want to once again just say a big thank you to my brother, friend, and colleague, Angie, for extending this invitation for me to be a part of this year's event. I don't take it for granted. And number 3 is a special number. Well done what you're doing. We see you, we hear you, we believe in you, and just know that what you're doing is making a difference. If you've read Malcolm Gladwell's book on the tipping point, you just know that it doesn't take so many people to be able to bring change in any place. I mean, and you don't have to be old, you don't have to be young. You just have to make yourself available to be an instrument that can bring change. And that's what Angie has done by creating this platform for us as men to network, to listen, to learn, so that we can lead more effectively. Do me a favor, you can go to the chat and just let us know where you are connecting from, so that we can welcome you, especially once again. I've been given a topic that I want to take the next few minutes, maybe the next 13 to 15 minutes, to share some thoughts. Then if our other speaker is here, they'll add to it if they're able to connect. If not, we'll take questions. But I want to look at today the topic of the crisis and the opportunity of leadership for men in the 21st century. I don't know if you can hear me loud and clear because the rain just seems to be pouring heavier where I am. But Angie, if you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up so I know that we're on the same page. Thank you very much. So the topic of leadership is something that is so dear to me. And we all know that there's a leadership crisis everywhere in the world, from country to country, community to community, company to company. It doesn't matter where it's places of worship or places of business or just the family. There seems to be a leadership crisis where those who have been called to step up to offer leadership are not stepping up the way they should. Not casting aspersion at anybody, but like I said, anybody can be a leader if they are willing to do what it takes to be a leader. But it's obvious. I'm a person of faith like Angie, and if you're not a person of faith, we all know that basically the man has been called and assigned with a role to lead, especially in the family. And permit me, if I begin in that nucleus, You know, because I believe that leadership begins from the bedroom before it goes to the boardroom. If it's not working at home, you can't export it. I don't think there's any country, well, any developed country of the world allows substandard products to be exported into it. It has to be something that has gone through quality assurance. It's been tried, it's been tested, and it meets the standards. Then it can be exported. And so leadership has to, first of all, be good at home before it can be exported to other places and it becomes useful. So I want us to know that we can't export it except we've got it right from the home. And permit me, if my case study and my reflection for my presentation today is around leading from the home, leading from the bedroom. When I say the bedroom is, I'm using as a metaphor to represent the family. So leading from the bedroom before we begin to lead in the boardroom. Now, even if you're not married, you're a young man, you're here, you're a teenager who has joined, like Josh, who has joined us, you're still expected to offer leadership wherever you find yourself. And the stats on the screen are very alarming, where men don't step up to their responsibility to lead. These are the consequences. Now, this data is for the United States of America, but I can tell you it's a vivid description of what happens everywhere in the world. That when men are unable to step up to offer the kind of leadership that they should, this is the crisis that happens in leadership, whether it's in the bedroom or the boardroom. It tells us from the stats that 1 out of 3 people live in homes without their biological father. Remember, this statistics is America. Now, 90% of homeless and runaway children are people who don't have male figures, men figures in their life. 85% of young people in prison have people who don't have a man in their life. 71% of high school dropouts are people who don't have a man in their life. It says 120% at greater risk of being abused as a child without having that man figure. 85% of children with behavior disorder, the absence of a male figure in their life. 63% of youth suicide can be traced to people who don't have male figures in their life. They don't have a man to lead them. And they're 7 times more likely to become pregnant as teenagers for the female ones. Father's absence has shown and led to, so look at the data there, an increase in depression, an increase in divorce, an increase in substance abuse, a decrease in educational performance, a decrease in life expectancy, a decrease in average income, a decrease in job security, a decrease in the level of health. And finally, there are 40% of children who don't have a father at home, or 40% of them have not seen their father for a whole year. This statistics is very alarming, but that's what happens when men don't offer the kind of leadership that they should offer. And we're in a safe space here. We don't have enough time to discuss, but I mean, just you can put it down in your calendar that you're going to be a part of a Method Man 4.0, you know, because we know men are going through a lot. Just a couple of days ago, we saw how a man who is very successful on the outside committed suicide in Lagos, Nigeria, and jumped off his balcony. This is the founder of a business. So there's a lot of issues that is going on. And so there's a crisis in leadership, but there's also an opportunity for us as men to step up and change the data that we've just seen in our communities, in our companies, in our countries, in our families. We can change the statistics if we will do the 5 things I want to share today. Now, one of my heroes is Albert Einstein, and he says, in the middle of every difficulty, lies opportunity. Every time I find myself at the Frankfurt airport, I take a picture with Albert Einstein. I took this one in January at the airport there. But Albert says, in the middle of difficulty, there are opportunities. So it's obvious from the data we've seen that there is a crisis in homes, in communities, in countries, because of the absence of male figures, of men offering the kind of leadership that they should offer. So I'm going to describe the problem, but inside the problem is also the solution. And I'll do that in a few minutes and I'll be out of your face. But hopefully you will learn something and you will take responsibility for something and make a difference. Now, the first problem and the solution is availability. From the data we saw, it says 40% of children in America, for example, who may not see their father for a full year, he will not be available. Let me put it to you that even those of us, and I'm guilty as charged, okay, those of us who may physically be in our homes with our spouses or our children, our wards, or might be in the office with people who are looking up to us, are not available. We're in the rat race of trying to make money. We're busy on our iPads or iPhones or computers. We are present, but we are not present. We are not available. And that's where the problem is. If we're going to deal with the crisis in leadership, leaders need to be available, because leadership is visual. It's visual. When there's a crisis, people need the leader to be visual. There are different styles of leadership, and we don't have time to look at them. But at the stage where there's crisis everywhere in the world right now, there's war, the economic crisis, and a lot of instability. We live in a very VUCA environment. Leaders must be available. Leaders must be present. Leaders must be visible. So there's a crisis of not being available, unavailability of most leaders at homes, that even when we are home, our minds are not there. We're busy doing other things. We are not present. So the challenge from this conference and this event is that make yourself available for those that you've been called to lead, from the bedroom to the boardroom. And the statistics we saw will begin to change. Make yourself available for your daughter, for your son, for your subordinates, for your colleagues. Make yourself available. Be visible. Availability. Very, very important. Let me go to the second one quickly. Number 2 is actions. We've all heard the saying that actions speak louder than words, because people do what people see. Part of the crisis in leadership is that most men are poor role models. And just know that you're an actor. And everybody's watching what you do from the bedroom to the boardroom. I always share this story. Today, my last 2 children are twins, and today's their birthday like Angie. They're 16 today. And I remember the younger twin, we made a decision in our family that we were not going to wear our shoes as we walk across the carpet at home in the living room, because it was a sacred place where we sit down and have family time, fellowship, and all of that. One day I got back from work, and I didn't get back from work. I forgot a document, and I got to the parlor and I tiptoed across the carpet without taking off my shoes. And I tiptoed across back, picked up the document and went. A couple of days later, my youngest daughter came back from school. I'm in the living room reading there, and she does the same thing. She doesn't take off her shoes, and she tiptoes across the carpet. And I ask her, "What are you doing?" She says, "I'm tiptoeing across the carpet." And I had a flashback of what I had done a few days before. And I could not speak because I had lost my moral authority by the reasons of my actions a couple of days ago. So our actions speak louder than our words. One of the ways that we can fix The leadership crisis that we see is by fixing our actions. Because leaders are the thermostat. We determine the environment, the temperature, and everything that people do. People are looking for us for their cue, just like the action. They are looking for us for their cue on how to behave. Very quickly, number 3 is awareness. I just realized that a lot of leaders, it's part of our acronym for mentality. A lot of us as men are not aware of several things. Now, awareness, I don't isolate this to being aware of your strengths, your weaknesses, and opportunities, like doing a SWOT, but even aware of the things that are going on in your environment, in your family. We're not aware, so awareness becomes very crucial. We need to become more aware of our environment and the people that we work with, our spouses, our children, because we're meant to be the ones that will spread the light. But if, like the image you can see there, the light bulb has fallen, it's very difficult for it to spread the light. So awareness becomes very crucial. I'm going very, very fast because I know my time is flying. And number 4 is ability. A lot of leaders are not growing themselves. And so it's very difficult. You become the lead to those that you lead if you're not growing yourself. So the challenge to you now is that when you lead this conference, come up with a personal growth plan. How are you going to grow yourself to become a better version of yourself so that you can become a motivation to those that you lead? Because you set the pace. And if you're not expanding your abilities, it'll be difficult. And the statistics is there from the World Economic Forum. It says 40% of the current workers' core skills are expected to change in the next 5 years. And you as a leader must be ensuring that you are growing your skill set so that you can keep leading. Last but not the least, for me, is one of the most important things, is accountability. That's where the issue of having a coach or a mentor comes in. And like NG said, having a mentor, a coach is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. I say that again. Having a coach or a mentor is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. One of the reasons why there's a leadership crisis globally, from the bedroom to the boardroom, is because most men do not have accountability. There's no one that is holding you accountable for your actions, holding you accountable for your availability, for your family, for the people who look up to you. There's no one holding you accountable. And without accountability, our destinies are at risk. If there's anything that has changed my life, is having an accountability circle. I don't know what happened to the CEO that committed suicide, the man that killed himself 2 days ago in Lekki in Lagos. But if he had a friend or someone that held him accountable, he could have shared the pain and the struggles he's going through and receive the support that is required for him not to take his life. Isaac Newton says, if we have seen any further, it's because we have stood on the shoulders of giants. So I want to challenge you, dear man. If we're going to be better leaders in the middle of this leadership crisis, we must have accountability. And I do hope with the little things I've shared, you will see the need to do that. Now, the statistics is there. 99% of individuals who have coaches are satisfied or very satisfied. Higher revenue for workers who have coaches, improved opportunities on their job, simply because there is a form of accountability. So go to the chat and type the 5 things you just saw. My time is up. I had 20 minutes. I've used 18 minutes and 46 seconds, but I want to get out of your face at the moment. If we're going to deal with the leadership crisis, it begins with us being available. Are you available? And number 2, I'm giving you the extra. I want to see how many are following. Just go to the chat and type. Let me do that in a few seconds before I hand the mic back over to the birthday man and our host, NG. But NG, thank you so much for the opportunity to be a part of the Method Man 2.0. Is it 2.0 or 3.0 now?
2.0.
Okay. Thank you very much. And God bless you all.
Thank you so much. Can we give a virtual round of applause for our guest speaker? Show him some love. Show him some love. I want to see us show him some love. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Odeyemi. I've admired you from a distance and we became friends and now we are here. Thank you so much. I hope you have learned those things, accountability and having a coach. Before we just leave, our second speaker is having challenges from joining, so he's not here. But I think if we stop now, I just want us to stop now so that we can go. I don't want us to assimilate so much from what we hear. Now, one thing I want to encourage you to do, first of all, take a DISC assessment, because for you to grow, you have to know yourself. The link for the DISC assessment is there on the link. You know, one of my friends asked me, why am I doing this? Why am I doing a free training? I just said something. I didn't tell him. So Obina, you'll be now surprised. Today is my birthday. So when I turned 40, like I said, I've always said, I had a leadership crisis, I have a life crisis, and then I needed to grow. And John Maxwell's theme was the place. And I had accountability and people that helped me to read. And now I've grown, I've seen the changes. And that's why I am giving back to the society. Like we say, change starts from me. You know, if we need to change our world, you have to change. Yes, before we say it's a man's world, mentality, muscularity, you know, men's world. But now it's no longer. If you check, especially in Africa, where I'm coming from, for Nigeria, if you see, yeah, the banks might be owned by men, but it's the women that runs it. You're talking about the Zenith Bank. You're talking about Hilton Transcorp. You're talking about Airpeace. So where are the men? Men have not taken this responsibility. They feel they have the entitlement mentality. That's why we don't have so much of this kind of program for men. And also, we don't have training. We don't take coaches. Like I said, and my leader has said, Odeyemi, taking a coach, having a coach is not a weakness. Our link is on the chat. You can have the Learn to Lead link. You can now engage each and every of the speaker. You know, if you want to know more of John Maxwell, if you want to have an accountability partner, if you want to take a DISC assessment, see, for you to grow, you have to know yourself. So the starting point for us, the take home for today, is to take a DISC assessment. Once again, I want to thank you as we come to the end of this. Thank you for sharing your evening with me and with everyone. We value your time. And like I always say, we don't want to spend more than an hour. It's 7 to 8 in Qatar, and currently it's 7:54. So we have 6 minutes. So if you have a question, put it on there. Like I said, networking is important. If you have your LinkedIn profile, you can also share with us. We can follow each other. We can grow. If you have your, you know, have everything, let's grow. So if you have a question, just keep your virtual hand. We have some few time to take a question. If there is one that have a question, please, now is the time. Or you want to reach out to them, you know, yes, the slide will not be shared. The slide, you can go to Learn to Lead YouTube and you can watch it over and over when it's reposted, you know. So the contact of the speakers and to take a DISC assessment is there. I saw that question, Omeka. So, okay, any other person? If there's no question, and I would like you to have the feedback form will be shared in the link. Please give us your feedback because we want to increase everyone. Thank you so much. Please kindly give the feedback. The feedback form is there. Kindly share there. Please kindly send us your feedback. We'd like to have your feedback. You know, if you want to know more, if you want to dive into deep. I encourage you, you can reach out to Mr. Odeyemi. You can go to his LinkedIn profile or his Instagram. I know he's a very busy man. He's very, very busy, but he has given us time. Thank you, Odeyemi, for sharing your time. And also, congratulations and thank you. And birthday wishes to the twins, my birthday mates. And thank you for even taking out this time to be with us while they are there waiting for you to celebrate. So thank you so much. Thank you. Mr. Odeyemi would have declined because of the daughter's birthday. But when he just had this intuition that convinced him, he didn't know it was my birthday, and he joined. And I'm so glad that we all joined. So if there is no question, I'd like to now, please give us your feedback, and I'd like to stop sharing, and then we can go. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Any last comment, Mr. Odeyemi, from the team?
Well, so somebody asked in the chat whether I'll share the slides with you so they can go through those 5 areas where there's a crisis and there's also an opportunity for us to grow as men. And I truly believe that if the head gets it right, then every part of the body will get it right. So I want to challenge all men, just reflect over all we've said today, and we will see a change, whether it's from the bedroom to the boardroom, because everything rises and falls on leadership.
Thank you so much. If you can open your screen, please don't forget to give us the feedback so that we take a picture together in celebration of my birthday, in celebration of the Method Men 2.0. Let's just have an open your screen. I'd like to just have it to be on my. Thank you so much. I can see so many of my friends. I can see my elder brother. I can see everyone. I can see my best man, several people from my team. I encourage you. Thank you for sharing your evening with us. It's so encouraging to do more. Of course, it's a free event, but then adding value is what motivates each and every one of us. Thank you. Thank you. We just have 1 minute, 2 minutes more to take the video. If you please reach out to Odeyemi. Like I said, it's a safe place to ask your question. They say men don't talk, but here we are. We need to talk because we grow with each other, holding our hands. Thank you so much. So on that note, I'd like to thank you and say bye-bye.